Please, County Court is now in session. The Honorable Angela Mason presiding.
Good morning. Please be seated. We are here this morning for county criminal arraignment. In a few minutes, I will call you up individually and let you know what you are charged with. The state will make you an offer. If you wish to accept their offer, I can take your plea and you will be done. If, however, you need some more time to think about it or wish to speak with an attorney, I am happy to pass your case for you to do that. If you do decide to enter a plea, you need to understand that you are giving up your right to a trial. And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation. At this time, if you can all stand to be placed under oath and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes? Thank you. Please be seated. Are you Mr. Gutierrez Escobar? No.
Let me have one moment, Your Honor.
Please. I'm going to go May 5 and May 12. Yep. Mr. Rare, I have to do the interpreter cases first so she can get to trial, and then I'm going to call you.
That's our own cash.
Oh, perfect.
Your Honor, we're here today with Mr. Gutierrez Escobar in two different cases, 24 CT 1907, which is a violation of probation case, and 25 CT 430. Your Honor, 25 CT 430 was the new law violation in his violation of probation case. Your Honor, he is going to admit the violation of probation, and JCS's recommendation was revoke and terminate probation. 10 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for time served, $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution fee, a $100 cost of defense. And in the new law violation case, 25 CT 430, Your Honor, the offer is adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and I believe that'd be a $50 cost of defense, and my client will plead not guilty in that case. I'm sorry, no contest in that case.
Okay. On the, and then credit for time served on the new charge. And then on the probation, it's waived non-monetary and monetary deflections,
I
right?
believe everything was completed, Your Honor.
Oh, man. Okay.
And he does have an ICE hold, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, were you here when I placed everyone under oath? Yes. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Jimmy Josué Gutiérrez Escobar, junio 30 de 1980.
June 30, 1980.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, señor.
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes.
I will accept your admission in 24 CT 1907 is freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate your probation, and sentence you to 10 days in the county jail with credit for time served. Upon release, you will have 90 days to pay a $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $100 cost of defense. In the new case, 25 CT 430, I will accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in court cost, a $50 cost of defense, and the deputy will need to take your prints for that case. Thank you, sir. Lorena, do you know who needs you? Because you can just call their name and I'll...
Si alguien necesita intérprete en español, ¿puede pasar?
No? ¿Sí, no?
Reyes Monica? I think she speaks English, Dad needs an interpreter.
Okay. Ray, are you Miss Reyes Lopez? How do I spell your last name?
Lena's L-E-Y.
Oh,
Lena's.
That was my mistake.
Lenes Rojas Monica. Okay. All right, ma'am, you are with us today for driving without a license. Does the state have a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state will be offering a deferred prosecution agreement.
Ma'am, a deferred prosecution agreement is an agreement between you and the state attorney's office. If you successfully complete that agreement, which is usually pay a reduced fine and try to get a good license, they will then dismiss or drop the case against you. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Dad says yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So have a seat in this front row behind these attorneys and they'll speak with you about that agreement. Okay?
¿Alguien más que necesita intérprete en español? Torres, Alpha Ken,
Torres Day Smith. Ma'am, you are with us today for driving without a license to the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and to show proof of a valid driver's license or otherwise eligibility within 90 days.
Ma'am, would you like to accept that offer?
yes.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Alpha Kenny Torres de Smith, June 184.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Sí.
Yes.
I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $300 in court costs, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your prints, and then he will give you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing. Okay?
Should I let you know that I've already started applying for a license?
That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Get that?
Buena suerte.
Okay.
¿Alguien más? This is Mr. Cordero.
Danny?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Cordero, you are with us today for the civil infraction of speeding. Are you mom?
Yes.
So you speak English, mom does not?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mom.
Okay, so with the civil infraction, you have two options. You can set this for a hearing, which we do via Zoom, and the officer has to come in and prove that you are speeding.
Yeah.
Or If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points, so no points on your license, and give you 90 days to pay the fine of $353.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, can you tell me your name and date of birth?
Denny Cordero,
Mm-hmm.
and then 05/20/2008.
Cordero Machuca?
Yeah.
Is that right? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? And Mom, because he's a minor, do you understand or have any questions about what's happening? You're good with it? Yeah, okay. I will accept your plea of no contest in the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so you'll have all that in writing, okay? Danny, if you need to, you can also work it off with community service if you're in school.
Thank you.
Thanks.
¿Alguien más que necesita intérprete en español? Pineda Steven?
With a P? All right, you are Stephen Pineda Rodesto. You are also with us today for speeding. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points, give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. If, however, you want to set it for a hearing where the officer has to come in and prove that you were speeding and that it was you who was doing it, we do those via Zoom, and I would set that for a hearing. Which one? Do you want to set it for a hearing or plead guilty today?
Mom saying will accept responsibility.
Okay. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right, tell me your name and date of birth.
Steven, perdón.
Talk a little bit louder, Stephen, into the
Steven
mic.
Pineda,
Mm-hmm.
August 8, 2007.
August 8th, 2007. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? Sir, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. You may also work those fines off with community service hours if you need to. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mom.
¿Alguien más necesita intérprete en español? This is Mom for Medina Fernandez Kenny.
Okay?
She's presenting in a letter from her son. He is under ICE custody, and he's not. So she's
So if he is in ICE custody, I need to issue a caveus.
Necesito poner una orden de arresto.
It is a warrant for his
Una
arrest,
orden para ponerlo en bajo arresto.
but the purpose is so that he will be brought back when he's released from ICE
Una vez
custody
que migración
to handle the charges.
lo puedan traer una vez más aquí para que resuelva este caso.
Cuando el señor no deja salir, que venga para acá, sí, pues no.
If he is released from immigration, does he need to just appear without an appointment or anything?
If he is released from immigration, he will immediately be brought here to handle this case.
Inmediatamente lo traerían aquí para resolver su caso.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Okay.
Okay.
Gracias.
Hold the first one.
¿Alguien más que necesita intérprete?
Thank you, Miss Lorena. I know you have that trial, so whatever. Mr. Rare?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
For the record, David Rare, Judge, I'm here on behalf of Mr. Kenneth Calvert in 25 MM 580.
Yep,
And
can you all approach, please?
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
That you're entering a plea of not guilty?
we are, Judge, in compliance with our written already filed yesterday, and I believe it's already set for April 9th through the clerk's office.
Yep, that's what they're telling me. Thank you,
All right,
sir.
thank you, Judge.
All right. Jose Aguilar Zelaya. Miguel Almaraz. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
So you are with us today for a DUI and speeding.
Yes, ma'am.
The state is going to make you an offer. You don't have to take it today, but just so you know what they're looking at. To the state,
Your Honor, the state will offer the mandatory minimums are for a blow over 1.5, which would be an adjudication of guilt, $1,000 fine, 501.73 in court costs, 11 months, 29 days probation, 50 hours of community service work, a 6-month driver's license suspension, DUI school, victim impact panel, 10-day vehicle impound, and 6-month interlock.
okay. Do you need an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender today, but you are also going to be required to go to the clerk's office, turn that in, and they'll make sure to know if you qualify.
Yes, ma'am.
Officially, I'm continuing your case to May 5th at 1:30. Make sure you talk to your attorney about Beckport if you're familiar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks, sir. And that also continues to TO. Mateo Anabisca. Santos Baquedano.
Time for the DPA, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ana Barbosa de Silva. Douglas Blandford. Anna? Douglas Blandford.
Your Honor, I see on my doc that he hired a private attorney.
Oh, Chris Garrett. So
Yeah.
4-9 for that. Taji Bonds with Ms. Tringus. Mr. Bonds?
And we'd like to hear what the state's offer is in this case.
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license within 90 days.
Your Honor, my client will plead no contest and accept the plea.
So were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath? Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Tajay Bonds, 7/24/1995.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes.
Sir, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $300 in cost, a $100 cost defense, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your fingerprints, and then he'll give you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bella Brink.
Sir?
Good morning. Ms. Brink, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. Did you get a good one?
Yes, I have it with me.
Can you show it to the state? Right there.
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication and $300 in court costs. And she has shown proof of the valid driver's license already.
Perfect. Would you like to accept that?
Sure.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Bella Brink, in December 7th, 2004.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court? Ma'am, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay the $300 in cost. I would also note for the record you've already shown proof of a good license. Deputy will take your prints and you're good to go.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Bella. Joseph Brown. Hi, Mr. Brown. So you're with us today for a derelict vessel. Okay, let's hear the state's offer. To the state?
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, and move the boat.
And what?
To move the boat within 90 days.
Can we do that, Mr. Brown?
How many days?
90.
9? I can try. I'm on disability. I'm fixed income. It's hard to do anything.
Okay. Do you want to talk to an attorney before we agree to anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I am going to continue your case to May 5th at 1:30. I'm going to ask, do you need me to appoint an attorney for you? Or are you going to hire somebody?
I'll hire somebody.
Okay. Tell them to come back May 5th at 1:30. And if you find that you need the public defender, you can always apply for that at the clerk's office, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you
Thank
May
you, ma'am.
5th. Thank you. Vincent Cantando? No? Michael Carter? Hey, Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, you were with us today for speeding more than 50 over.
Yes, ma'am.
The fine for this is $1,103. And it would be an adjudication, so you have to get the points on your license. If you want to accept responsibility today, that's what I do. But if you want the officer to come in and have to prove that you were speeding, and that you were speeding that much, I'm happy to set it for an infraction hearing. Like I said, we do those via Zoom, and I would just give you another court date. But it's your call.
No, I'll accept it.
Okay, tell me your name and date of birth.
Michael Anthony Conley, September 13th, 1994.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Carter, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding more than 50 over. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $1,103 in fines. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so you will have all that right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Champion?
Entered into, yeah.
He entered into a DPA. Larry Childs? Everybody's speeding around here. How you doing, Mr. Childs?
Doing fine with yourself?
Good, thank you. You're also with us for speeding more than 30 over. If you want to set it for a hearing, I can do that, where the officer has to come in and prove you were speeding, or the fine is $353. And if you wanted to take care of it today, I would withhold the points.
I'd like to set up for a hearing.
Okay. Mr. Chuck, what is a good infraction hearing date? This would be on judge, or senior judges. I don't have the other judges' dockets. Okay, so it'll be May 16th, Mr. Childs. Before you leave, make sure the clerk has a good email for you, because they're going to email you a Zoom link with a specific time. But they're in the mornings. So,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Teresa Colazo. Mariah Conklin.
Entered into a DPA.
Mariah entered into a DPA. Are you Miss Conklin?
I'm Ms. Colazo.
Oh, Ms. Colazo, right. Ms. Conklin entered into a DPA. Ms. Colazo, you are with us today for a DUI.
Yes, ma'am.
To the state?
Your Honor, the state will offer mandatory minimums of adjudication of guilt, $1,000 fine, 50173 in court costs, 11 months, 29 days probation, 50 hours of community service work, a 5-year driver's license suspension, multiple offender DUI school, victim impact panel, 30-day impound, 1-year interlock, 10 days in the OCJ, and a scram.
Okay, I'm gonna guess you don't wanna take that today.
No, ma'am.
Do you need the application for the public defender?
Oh, he gave me one.
Okay. Fill it out, turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall. Your next court date will be, and they'll let you know if you qualify. Your next court date will be May 5th at 1:30. I will appoint the PED provisionally so they can get started on your case, but make sure you get that turned in.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
ma'am. Leslie Figueroa. Good morning, ma'am. Ms. Figueroa, you're with us for driving on a suspended license. Have you been able to get a good one?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show it to the state?
I just have the confirmation number that they've sent it to me, and I paid the sanction. So I
Okay,
have
what section?
that my license was suspended underneath. I sold a car, and I didn't I didn't let them know I sold the car for my insurance.
So you had to pay like a reinstatement fee?
Right.
And where's your license out of? Is it Florida?
It is.
Okay, show that to the state.
It doesn't have the tracking number. I just haven't received the ID yet.
I think you're all good.
And this is the shopping cart. I did it the same day I found out.
Your Honor, the state will offer a DPA.
Okay, Ms. Figueroa, have a seat behind the state. They're offering you a diversion. If you successfully complete that, they'll dismiss the case. So. Tiana Ford. No? Fuggerson? Mr. Fuggerson? Oh, ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Judge.
Oh, hi.
Mr. Ferguson is my son, and,
How do I say his first name?
Adon Bazik.
Adon Bazik. Okay, come on up.
With it being the allegations and being 4 of us and some others involved, he got a letter to the house, him and my 2 daughters, and it was stating something about conflict of interest, regional, but somebody was gonna put in a plea form so that he didn't have to come today, so,
Okay, so Ms. Trengus would be his attorney.
okay.
Where is he?
He's at home.
Why is he not here and you're here?
Because my paper said to come, because I'm the only one that didn't have an attorney or whatever. We done got a lot
Oh,
of.
so you have a case here too?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Miss Morris. And then.
Say it one more time?
Miss Morris.
Morris.
But all 3 of my kids are Fergusons.
You're Tamla Morris?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Morris. So, Ms. Tringus, as his attorney, did you all file a conflict?
No, we did for, not for him, Your Honor.
Okay.
For, I believe, a sibling.
Yeah. It's,
I'm gonna tell you to call him and tell him he should probably come to court, because I didn't tell him not to come. And he's an adult, so respectfully, you can't stand in for him.
right.
So go make that call and tell him he should probably show up soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Morris, while you're here, do you want to handle your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you know you're charged with battery.
Yes,
You want
ma'am.
to hear the state's offer? I know you're not going to take it, but just so you.
Correct.
All right. What's the state's offer?
Your Honor, the state has no offer at this time. We're reviewing the case for a different charge.
Okay. Do you need an attorney, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to appoint the public defender. They're going to have to conflict, but I have to appoint them so we can get to where I have an attorney for you. Fill that out and turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall, and then we'll start that process. Okay?
And what will be Ms. Morris's next court date?
With me on May 12th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kedlin Fugon Cubas. Zoila Garrido. Andy Gill. Christopher Grant.
Entered into a DPA, Your Honor.
Mr. Grant did.
Yes, Your Honor.
Daryl Harris. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Harris, you're with us today for a DUI to this state.
Your Honor, the state will offer the first DUI minimums of an adjudication of guilt, 11 months, 29 days probation, victim impact panel, DUI school, 50 hours of community service work, $476.73 in court costs, a $500 fine, 10-day vehicle impound, and a 6-month driver's license suspension.
All right, Mr. Harris, would you like to accept that, or would you like some time to speak with an attorney?
Speak with an attorney.
Okay, and you're appointing to the public defender. Do you need me to appoint him?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will appoint the public defender, but you must fill out the application and turn it into the clerk to make sure you qualify. Your next court date will be May 5th at 1:30. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Joshua Henderson. Tamika Hilliard. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Ms. Hilliard, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. Did you get a good license?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show it to the state?
This is your old license? This one? One second, Your Honor.
I do have a question.
Sure.
So prior to getting this ticket, like the day before, I had got a driving with no license, but I wasn't actually driving the vehicle. So I was trying to see if I could get a court date for that ticket instead.
You got like a civil infraction?
Yes, ma'am, for $160 for driving with no license. But when he pulled up, I was standing outside of the car, but I was like standing next to the driver's side. But the car is parked and
No,
everything.
so I can't give you legal advice, so don't tell me anything about the facts of the case.
Okay.
But if you got a civil infraction, you can certainly, it's called a TR case, you can certainly go to the clerk's office and tell them you want to set it for a hearing.
Okay.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, those are the ones we do via Zoom, and they'll give you a court date and a time for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Your birthday is 10/7/86?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, on that case, though, she might need to go down quickly because it was due yesterday.
Okay.
Oh yeah, make sure you go down there, because otherwise they'll suspend your license for not having paid the ticket.
Okay.
To the state?
Without pulling up the whole, do you see that the license is not suspended outside of this recent ticket?
What?
Or, okay, so she was suspended for, you were suspended for not paying traffic fines, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you paid those traffic fines? Do we see that it was not, that those fines were paid? I can't find the TR tickets.
Can you just see in data if she's currently
Yeah.
active?
Just trying to, this would be a third, so we're trying to, see if we can.
Oh, y'all are filing the streets.
This would be your third,
Okay,
Driver's
so
suspended
as of March 10th, her license is valid.
Okay, the state will offer a DPA on this since the license is valid, but this would have been a third had it not been valid.
Okay, so let me do this. Ms. Hilliard,
Yes, ma'am.
in the law now says for your third or subsequent driving while license suspended charge, it is a mandatory 10 days in jail. There's no workaround for that.
Okay.
So if you do not, or if you get another driving while license suspended, you're going to be looking at jail time.
I've never had a driving license
Well, if
suspended.
this is your third, that tells me you have 2 prior. So
But-
they're offering you a diversion, which means when you pay this fine or whatever, they'll dismiss this one. But I'm just giving you a heads up moving forward.
How do I check on that? Because I've never had a driving while license suspended except for this one here.
Well, according to your driver history, it was in September, in June you got one because you didn't have insurance. In September you got one because you didn't have insurance. In November you failed to pay a traffic fine, so your license was suspended. I mean, I see a guilty in 2012, a withhold in 2006, a careless driving, so.
Maybe that's, yeah,
Those
okay.
So go ahead and have a seat. I'm just giving you a heads up. You gotta be real careful,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
And then make sure you set that other one for a hearing today,
Okay.
okay? Jackson Howard. Alexander Hurst. Good morning, sir. Mr. Hurst, you're with us for driving more than 30 over. If you wish to set it for a hearing, we do those via Zoom, and I'm happy to do that. Or if you want to accept responsibility today, I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353.
I accept responsibility.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Alexander Jackson Hurst, 9699.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Sir, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy will give you a pay slip, so you have all that in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jose Jacinto Lopez. Anthony Jones. Where is everybody? Sabrina Castel. Did I say that right? Come on up, ma'am. How do I say your last name?
Castle.
Castle. Ma'am, you are also with us today for speeding, more than 30 over. If you wish to accept responsibility, I would withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353. Or if you want to speak with it, or if you want to set it for a hearing, we can do those via Zoom.
I'll take your offer.
Okay, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Sabrina Castle, 22570.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
You have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy will give you a pay slip to the phone.
Okay.
Braden Kearns. Kenneth Keller.
Entered into a DPO, Your Honor.
Margaret Lamb.
Your Honor, I see there was a DPA filed on 324.
Okay. Ever Lopez Garcia with Mr. David. Julio Mazaregos. Scott McGilvery is an inmate, so we'll come back. Christian McQueen. John Middleton. Brian Montanero Meza. Johnny Montez Reyes. Frederick Neely. Lamont Nelson. Kia Norman. I'm about to say just form line, yeah. Scott Orange.
Your Honor, Mr. Orange completed payment of his deferred prosecution agreement, if the state has an announcement on that matter. Mr. Clerk, if you could confirm that that amount has been paid.
Your Honor, the state will announce a no process on this case based on successful completion or compliance with the DPA.
Okay. Terry Owens. Good morning. Mr. Owens, you're with us for a DUI to the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, 11 months, 29 days probation, a 6-month driver's license suspension, DUI school, victim impact panel, 50 hours of community service work, $476.73 in court costs, a $500 fine, and a 10-day vehicle impound.
Would you like to accept that?
Can I get some time to think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you need me to appoint an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna appoint the public defender, but you have to fill that out and turn it into the clerk so we can make sure you qualify. Your next court date with me will be May 12th.
Also, can I get that extended? Because I have to go to Kentucky for another legal matter.
Is that at 1:30, Your Honor?
No, May 12th is at 9. Mr. Owens, if you talk to your attorney before then, I might be able to waive your appearance, but I do want to keep it on track to make sure discovery is happening in your cases.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Mr. W., he has 2 cases. Just so you know, so the other will be May 12th as well. James Patrick. Orlinda Perdomo Aranda. Jolene Perez. Good morning. Ma'am, you're with us today for resisting and a DUI with property damage to the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer 11 months, 29 days, or an adjudication of guilt, 11 months, 29 days probation, a $500 fine, $476.73 in court costs, DUI school, victim impact panel, 6-month driver's license suspension, 10-day vehicle impound, and restitution to the victim reserved for 180 days.
Okay. Would you like that, or would you like to take some time to talk to an attorney?
I do not have an attorney, I can't afford one, so can
Would you like me
one
to
be
appoint one?
appointed?
So you will need to fill out the application for the public defender, turn that into the clerk, they'll just make sure you qualify, but I'm going to appoint them provisionally. Your next court date with me will be May 12th at 9 a.m. Thank you. Devin Perigin? Here again. Cole Pettit? Good morning. Cole, you're with us today for expired registration and attaching a tag not assigned, okay, to the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, a $300 in court costs, and show proof of valid registration or eligibility within 90 days.
So I assume we're going to consolidate these into one case?
Yes, Your Honor, these look like they were on the same days. They would be
One
consolidated.
stop, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Would you like to accept that?
I feel like I probably should.
I cannot
Yes,
give you legal
yes,
advice?
yes.
Okay. Mr. Pettit, please, were you here earlier when I put everyone under oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me your name and date of birth.
Cole Pettit, June 16th, 2003.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept your plea of no contest, and 25 CT 483 is freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs and show proof of a good registration to the clerk. I'm also going to consolidate 484 into 483, so you only have to pay $170.
Thank you.
Okay? Deputy will give you a pay slip, so you'll have it all in writing. Landon Prestoff?
102 DPA, Your Honor.
Yuretsi Reyes Lopez? Paul Roberts?
I think you did miss something.
Huh?
Shoot, Miss Reyes Lopez was a Spanish speaker earlier, right?
Well, that's what we thought it was, but it was Reyes. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, Reyes Lopez will be the state will announce a no cross based on compliance with the DPA.
Okay. Paul Roberts is not here. Adam Robinson? Hi. Good morning. Mr. Robinson, you're with us for driving on a suspended license. Have you been able to get a good one yet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you show it to the state?
Your Honor, the state will offer a DPA.
Okay, so a DPA is a deferred prosecution agreement. If you successfully complete it, they'll dismiss this charge completely. You interested in that?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat behind them, they'll take care of you.
And Your Honor, this was his third.
Oh, so you heard me, I don't know if you heard me earlier. Okay, all right, thank you. Annie Robles?
Enter into a DBA, Your Honor.
Matthew Szynski. Morning, sir.
Morning, Your Honor.
Were you able to get a motorcycle? You're with us for no motorcycle endorsement.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you get a good one?
No, ma'am, I'm currently enrolled in the motorcycle safety course for this weekend. However, I am trying to sell my motorcycle to be more safe.
Okay. All good things. To the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication and $300 in court costs, and based on what Mr. I'm gonna butcher your last name if I try to say it. The third condition would be the endorsement, or what is it, if you're selling it or in the class, then for the record, it's being worked on.
Would you like to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Matthew Szynski, October 26, 1975.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the right you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced for the
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered, withhold the adjudication, and give you 90 days to pay $300 in cost. Deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all nice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jonathan Sanchez Oliver. Rachel Sanchez. Hi. Good morning. Ms. Sanchez, you are Rachel Sanchez.
Rochelle.
Rochelle, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you're with us today for speeding more than 30 over, not 50. So if you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold 90 days to pay $353, or we can set it for a hearing. You wanna do it
I'll
here?
accept it.
You do want to accept it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Rochelle Ashley Sanchez, 6170.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding.
Yeah.
I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy's going to give you a pay slip, so you'll have it all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez.
I hope you got my letter.
I'm going to go check now. Ana Santos Vieira. Hi.
Good morning, Your Honor. Molly Yeski on behalf of Ms. Santos Vieira in 25 CT 356. Ms. Santos Vieira is currently being held in another jurisdiction at this time. Ms. Santos Vieira's mother is present in the courtroom today, and she has indicated to me that at the time of the initial arraignment on 3/4/25 that she was hospitalized. If the state would be willing to take no action today, or if...
I would say that's something to consider it, but she's still not here.
Right.
And I get what you're saying, that she's in another jurisdiction, but for me, the court would not take any action until she was here present to handle it. And then if she has a good excuse, I'm happy to handle it then, but I don't want to do it before she's actually here.
Okay.
Okay? So are you asking me to continue to May 12th?
Yes.
We can get her here?
Yes.
Okay. So May 12th, and then if she was in the hospital, just some paperwork reflecting that would be very helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Gavin Shalmore? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So you're with us today for attaching a tag not assigned and improper vehicle registration. Have you gotten that fixed?
The vehicle registration, no.
Okay, but the tag, yes?
The tag also, no.
Okay. What's the state's offer?
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of valid registration, and tag, restitution to the victim, in 10 days in the OCJ.
For attaching a tag not assigned?
There was a car crash, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So 10 days in the county jail. So I assume you would like to speak with an attorney?
Yes, I would like to speak to an attorney.
Okay. Do you need the public defender?
Yes, please.
So I will appoint the public defender, but you will have to fill out the application, turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall, just to make sure you qualify, and then I'll see you back on May 12th at 9 o'clock.
May 12th at 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Schuman? Morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Schuman, you are with us today for resisting
Yes,
to
ma'am.
the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt and $270 in court costs.
And I give you 90 days to pay it. Would you like to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Elizabeth Schuman,
6/11/62.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Schuman, I will accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $270 in cost. The deputy will give you a pay slip, ma'am, so you will have all that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Willie Sheffield? Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Sheffield, you're with us today for a DUI to the state.
Your Honor, the state doesn't have an offer at this time. We're reviewing this for a different charge.
Okay. So it looks like they have no offer for you yet. Do you need an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will appoint the public defender, but you will be required to fill out the application, turn it in to the clerk. So go ahead and get that done while you're here.
Okay.
And your next court date with me will be May 12th. Hopefully they'll have an offer for you back.
Okay.
Caleb Shira? Miguel Silvera Lopez? No information. Wendy Sim?
Your Honor, the state has a DPA.
Okay. Stariana Simmons? Thomas Sipos, he's an inmate. Brandy Smith? Good morning. All right, Ms. Smith with us with the charge of battery.
Molly Yeske on behalf of Ms. Smith in 25 MM 595. I believe that alleged victim in this case is present here today. I'm ready.
Hi.
If the state.
Did you want me to take some testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So Ms. Smith, if you and your attorney can step over here to the right for me by the deputy. Can you come forward for me? Yes. Raise your right hand.
All right.
Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
My name's Harley Smith. My date of birth is 12/06/2001.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Absolutely not.
Ms. Smith, you've been identified, or I think you are the victim in 25 MM 595 State versus Brandy Smith, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe the state might have some questions for you, so if you'll just speak to them.
Hi, Ms. Smith. Have you had so what do you want to see happen in this case?
I want it gone. My mother did not put her hands on me and has not ever put her hands on me.
And is this a voluntary decision, and if you had time to think about it? If the defendant would like their record expunged of this charge, would you feel okay with that?
Absolutely.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Shesky, anything?
No.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. You can step back. Ms. Smith, if you'll come back up.
Your Honor, the state will announce a no pros based on the victim's testimony here today in court.
All right. Your case is dismissed, ma'am.
Thank you.
Eliza Smothers? Hi. Ma'am, you're with us today for driving without a license. Have you been able to get a good license?
No, ma'am.
Not yet? Okay. To the state?
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or otherwise eligibility within 90 days.
All right. Would you like to accept?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Alizea Smothers.
Sorry.
It's okay. 12/05/06.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your rights as previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I will accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs and, if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk.
Is there any way for some of the 300 I could do like volunteering or?
Sure. I will authorize community service, and they will talk to you about that. It's at the statutory rate, I think it's $10, $11, but you can certainly work it off with community service.
Thank you.
Deputy will take your prints, and he'll give you a pay slip, so all that'll be in writing. Thank you. Nirna Sukin?
Molly Yeske on behalf of Ms. Sukan in 25 MM 493. Ms. Sukan is approaching.
Good morning, ma'am. To the state?
The state's a bit confused how the defendant was able to be released based off of a violation, second violation of an injunction. But the offer for this new case would be withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, abide by the terms of the injunction, and 11 months and 29 days on probation, and no contact with the victim.
So she's already out on a violation of injunction and then picked up a new one, and
Yes, Your Honor.
whoever the judge was at first appearance didn't revoke the bond in the first?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's a gift. But if the state wants this court to reconsider it, you have to file a written motion.
Putting it on.
So we're not doing, I get it. So my point is, Ms. Sucombe, we're not doing that today. But usually, if someone violates pretrial release by committing a new law offense, oftentimes their bonds are revoked. So I would be very mindful to abide by this injunction. Do you understand?
Yes.
I assume you would.
We will
like
plead
to
not
plead
guilty today.
Okay. All right, so I will see you back on May 12th, okay?
Your Honor, her other case is set for April 14th. Do you want both?
Oh, yeah, you already have one set.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, could we run them
Sure.
together?
Yeah. April 14th, ma'am, I'll see it. We'll handle all
Or
of it together.
actually, could we run them both on the May 12th date? We're in the process of resolving the initial case. Yeah. Thank you
Yep.
so much.
And if you get it resolved before then, Ms. Chesky, you can always put it back.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Michael Sweat. Alpha Torres de Smith, I already handled. Jose Torres Bobadilla. No. Darius Turner. That's great.
Molly Yeski on behalf of Mr. Turner in 24 MM 3756. If the state would allow, my client has run into some financial hardship and we would just like a little bit more time to be able to complete the community service, which would complete the DPA.
How much you have left?
$100. All $200, Your Honor.
Actually, the clerk's showing 150 outstanding. So you paid 50? Am I seeing that? Oh, no, it's 200. I see. I mean, so you are asking to do community service to work this out?
Yes, it was written in the initial deferred prosecution agreement.
Okay. Do you have a problem with that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So here's my thing, Darius. I don't have a problem with it either, except that 4 months ago you asked for the same thing, we gave it to you, and you didn't do any of it. So I want to keep this on our radar to make sure you're at least doing a little bit at a time. Are you still in school? No. All right. So I'm going to ask you to come back on April 14th. You gotta have at least 5 hours done.
I have 3 done.
Okay, then you have to have 10 done. So you gotta get 7 more done. And then I'll continue it again. But it doesn't make sense for us to keep dragging this along and you're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if the clerk can make a note of that on the minutes, he needs to show at least 10 hours community service done. For 20 hours, how many, or for $200, would it be 20 hours total? Do you guys know?
And it's the minimum wage, I believe, right now.
I think it's 13, 14.
$13.14?
It's either 13 or 14. It increases each year.
Give it a gig.
I believe, I want to say it's 14.
I'm a little bit hurt because it was $2.13 when I was. Okay, so it's $13 an hour. So
And that's for 2025?
As of September 24, it's 13 and will increase to 14 in September 30.
Okay. Good to know. I knew it was one of the two.
You only have to do 16 hours. If you can get 13 done by the 14th, this will all be over for you. But I'm just looking for 10. All right? So get that done. I'll see you on the 14th. Thank you. Alvaro Vasquez,
DPA, Your Honor.
Carlos Velasquez.
Your Honor, the victim has been in contact with our office. We were still reviewing for a no cross, but.
Okay. On Carlos Velasquez, but he's not here. So
He's in a group home.
are you asking me to continue?
The state's asking for a continuance.
Gotcha. May 12th for Mr. Velasquez. Don't let that fall off your radar though.
Yes, Your Honor.
Andrea Wade.
Molly Yeski on behalf of Miss Wade in 25MM 517. If we could hear an offer from the state.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, and forfeit the paraphernalia.
One moment. We will plead not guilty.
Okay. Ms. Wade, I'll see you back May 12th at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor.
Daniel Ward. Is that a DPA?
Yes, it would be a DPA, but we don't have anything on file for him yet.
Okay. Anthony Weaver.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Weaver. So you're with us today for the charge of resisting. Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
I don't believe so. I'm homeless, so it's a.
That's okay. I just need to make sure if we get to a
No.
plea, I put you under oath.
No.
Let's hear the state's offer, okay? To the state, they're gonna make you an offer.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt and $270 in court costs.
So, Mr. Weaver, if you wanted to plead guilty, it would just be a fine of $270 within 90 days.
Can I say something?
Please?
I made a police report while I was in jail. I was assaulted by a guard. He used excessive force. He lied on the report. It's on camera. And I called up yesterday to get the report number so I could talk to my attorney. And they said there is no report.
Is that what you're charged with? Like, you're charged with resisting, but you're saying it was excessive force on the officer's part?
I'm saying that once I got once I was
different
locked up,
Okay.
I pressed charges against an officer.
I got you. So
And
that's
then the
different.
charge just, the report just disappears.
You said you were going to talk to your attorney about it. Who's your attorney?
It's the attorney on that case.
What's his name? Or her name?
Well, it turns out I got no report now, so now they're like,
Okay.
you don't have a case, but they took audio, visual, they took verbal, video, and written statement.
Okay, let's talk about your case, and then we'll talk more
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that. Do
I
you
would
want
like
me to
to
appoint an
continue.
attorney?
Yes, ma'am, for the
Okay,
attorney.
so I will appoint the public defender. You still got to fill out the application and turn it into the
Okay.
clerk. And then we will be back on your case May 12th. In the meantime, you can get up with your attorney and speak with her about all those things.
So I can turn this in here?
Yes, sir, with the clerk at the end of the hall.
All right.
Thank you.
And
May 12th at 9 a.m.
thank you.
Have a good day. William Webster?
Your Honor, the state will announce a no cross based on the defendant showing valid insurance.
John Wyristek?
Your Honor, this, Mr. Wiresteck entered into a DPA. Apologies for butchering that name.
If I haven't called your name, but you believe you have a case with us today, come on up, sir. What's your name?
Paul Hayes.
Say it again.
Paul
Hayes?
Hayes.
Okay. Mr. Hayes. What do you think you're here for?
I think it was petty theft. And then I had 2 failure to appears.
Does the state have anything on this?
Your Honor, will you repeat the case number if you don't mind?
Sure, 24MM4104. It looks like you have Mr. Harper representing you.
I didn't think I had a representative.
It looks like the Office of Regional Conflict Counsel is appointed. See, if you come to court, you would know that.
You're right.
Yeah, that's right. Let me just make sure. Okay. So you got arrested on March 8th on the FTA, and they told you to come here today.
Yes.
Since you have an attorney, there's not anything we can do about this today, but I'm going to continue it to May 5th.
Oh, I can't just plead guilty, or I don't want to do this.
You don't want to talk to your attorney?
No.
Does the state have an offer?
What do you mean offer?
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, no contact with the victim, and the state will take no action on the FTA.
Deal.
Okay. I got to ask you a bunch of questions.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Paul Hayes, 1181.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Mr. Hayes, you currently have an attorney with the Office of Regional Conflict Counsel appointed. Is it your wish to discharge that attorney and accept a plea today?
Yes.
Have you ever had contact with Mr. Harper?
No.
Okay, so you didn't even know
I have
you were...
no idea who he is.
Okay. Do you feel like entering this plea is in your best interest to resolve the case?
It is.
And you understand that do you agree that should we proceed to trial, the state could establish a factual basis for the offense? Not that you did it, but there are facts that could support that maybe you didn't.
Right. I do understand.
And you understand that by not proceeding to trial, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty.
I do.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation.
I do.
I have to say that to everyone.
I
Please don't take it personally. So I will allow the Office of Regional Conflict Counsel to withdraw. I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered, withhold the adjudication, and give you 90 days to pay $270 in court costs. You may have no contact with the victim, and there will be no action on the failures to appear, so those will be dismissed. The deputy is going to give you a pay slip, so you will have all that information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's that, Paul.
Is that the action number? Failure to appear?
Jessica Rogers?
Ms. Rogers, come on up, ma'am. Hi. All right, Ms. Rogers, you're with us today for petty theft and paraphernalia. The state's going to make you an offer. If you want to take it, I can take your plea. If you don't, I'm happy to pass your case for you to talk to an attorney. Okay? Do you have other cases going on, Jessica?
Oh, no, ma'am, I don't.
Just this?
Just this, yeah. I have no probation.
Nothing? All right.
Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, no trespassing at Sabor de mi Pueblo on 306 Racetrack Road in Fort Walton Beach, and 30 days in the OCJ with credit for time served.
Tell me the name of the business.
Sabor de mi Pueblo.
De
mi Pueblo.
And 30 days in the county jail with credit for time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rogers, you want to take that?
Yes, ma'am, because as of today, that would be time served now for my time that I've been in jail, correct? 23 days?
I can't do credit. That's up to the jail. It looks like you got arrested March 2nd, so you would probably have some more days left to do. But I don't know how game time works, so whatever the jail says.
Okay.
But you'd be close.
I want that, yes, ma'am.
All right, please raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, put your hand down. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Jessica Ann Rogers, 3/10/1989.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
Do the parties stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Rogers nodding yes. Ma'am, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days from release to pay $270 in court costs. You will be sentenced to 30 days in the county jail with credit for time served, and you may not trespass back at Sabor de mi Pueblo on racetrack. That is good for a year starting today.
Okay.
Okay, deputies can take your prints and you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Sir? All right, how do I say your last name?
Duke.
Mr. Duke, good morning. You're with us today for an insurance violation. Do you have any other cases pending?
He does, Your Honor. May I be appointed in this case?
I will appoint the public defender in 25 CT 507. Let's hear the state's offer, and then I'll ask your attorney how we should proceed, okay?
Your Honor, the state will offer a withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license in 90 days.
And insurance, right? And insurance? It was an insurance violation.
Oh, you bet.
Okay.
Yep, insurance.
What was the other one?
It's a withhold and $300 in court costs.
And what was the driver's license?
I just meant to say valid insurance. I apologize, that was my miss.
So are you asking me to continue it, Mr. Duke?
I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Duke, I'm going to continue this to May 5th at 1:30 for you to speak with your attorney.
Okay.
Are you good with that, sir? You look like you have a
I was
question.
wondering, can't we settle everything right now?
No, sir, because you have another case pending and we don't have any information about that. We need to make sure that we're not messing you up on that case by doing something like this.
All right. So this case was just, I just get fines for it? I don't get any jail time?
Correct, that's the offer as of today.
Okay.
Okay?
And then the next case would be on the other charges?
Correct, and we're going to try to get everything together on that May 5th date.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Jackson?
Mr. Jeff? Morning.
We'd like to hear the state's offer if possible in this case.
The state have an offer on Mr. Jackson's case.
Yes, Your Honor, the state will offer an adjudication of guilt, 60 days in the OCJ, 11 months, 29 days probation, psychosexual evaluation, and any recommended treatment, forfeit the phone, remove explicit video and all other images of the victim from any social media platforms, no contact with the victim, $270 in court costs, and may not possess any pornographic material of any kind during the supervision.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty and request the next court date.
Okay, just so I know, what, after the 270 in court costs,
During
No contact
the
with
probationary time, there will be no possession, the defendant may not possess any pornographic materials.
and no contact with the victim.
And no contact with the victim, yes.
All right, so Mr. Jackson, so the court will see you back May 5th at 1:30, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Captain Gilbert?
Your Honor, if I could just have one brief moment with my client. Your Honor, Mr. McGivery will plead not guilty and request the next court date. He's just indicated to me that he's interested in vet court.
Good. May 12th? And if you could reach out to Ed and have him go talk to Mr. McGill.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Chad Mott?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that? Okay.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Chad Mott here before the court on 3 different VOPs. We'd enter a denial on all 3 and request the next court date.
All right, I'll see you guys back May 12th.
Thank you.
Do you, actually, Mr. Mott, hang on one second. Do you know when his felony date is?
I can find out, Your Honor.
Because I imagine we're passing this for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
I just hate for
Give me
it to
just,
have to
give
keep
me just,
coming back.
I'll pull it up. Just didn't have it off the top of my head.
No, that's okay.
24 CF 1643.
What's his next court date? Do you know?
I want to say it's April 18th.
April 24th at 9 a.m.
Okay, so May
that's
12th, we'll be good. I just want to make sure you know what's going on in that before you have to come back here. All right, thank you.
We'll be good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Raphael Pugh.
Molly Yeski on behalf of Mr. Pugh in 25 MM 463. If I could have one brief moment,
Please.
Your Honor, we will plead not guilty today.
Okay, Mr. Pugh, I'll see you back May 12th. Thank you.
Folks, SIPO.
Molly Yeski on behalf of Mr. Sipos in 23 MM 2954. If we could have one brief moment.
Sure.
We've come to a resolution in this case.
Okay.
Mr. Sipos is willing to admit the violation of probation, be sentenced to credit for time served, a $50 VOP fee, $50 cost of prosecution, revoke and terminate probation, waive non-monetary requirements, send monetary requirements to collections, and then a $100 cost of defense.
And it's an adjudication?
Yes.
All right, that state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear or affirm your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Thomas Allen, Cyclos Jr., 6/11/61.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a hearing where the state would have to prove that you violated?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do the parties stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, I will accept your admission as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to time served. Upon release, you'll have 90 days to pay a $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $100 cost of defense. I am going to revoke and terminate the probation, waiving non-monetary requirements and sending the outstanding monetary requirements to collections. So you're good to go?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thomas Vergana.
Ms. Yeski on behalf of Mr. Vergona in 25 MM 335. If I could have one moment.
You may.
Mr. Vergona will plead not guilty.
Okay, I'll see you back on May 12th.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Seth.
That ends the inmate.
Okay. We have a lot of cases today.
Thanks, Susan.
Yay. Not really sure what happened there, but
Your Honor, for 24 CT 1171, the state will be taking no action on the failure to appear.
who's the defendant?
Yoretzi Reyes Lopez, I'm not sure if that was it.
Oh, the DPA one?
No, it was a no cross one.
Right, because she paid the
Oh, because she paid the
Right. So no action on the FTA on this. Okay. May 5th at 1:30.
May 5th, 1:30.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Jose Aguilar Zelaya will be a KPS hold till first appearance. Mateo Inavisca will be a KPS hold till first appearance. Ana Barbosa de Silva will be a KPS hold till first appearance. Vincent Cantando. Okay, so last year on the minors in possession, the state asked me to